What's up, E.D.G family? Kevin here, and today we are going to be doing a exciting preview of 2024. These are my most anticipated games for this year. There are 10 of them. I was going to originally wait a couple weeks to get this video out, but I just got some shipping information on one of the games on here, so I thought it was probably better to do this video sooner rather than later. So I'm going to get us queued up, set up, and I will be right back. All right, so 2024. I'm going to tell you right now, there are some extremely exciting things happening this year, specifically in board games right now, but we'll talk about some of the other ones later. But let's talk about a few honorable mentions as we go through here. So one of them I do want to talk about, I touched on this a couple times already this year, was a game I just got in. It was originally going to be a 2023 game for me, and I got it in like about a week ago. So we're talking Unsettled. It's definitely a game I'm excited to play a lot this year. We've got a few plays in. If you haven't checked out the unboxing on that or kind of my initial impressions video, definitely go check those out. I have a lot of hype for this game right now. I'm excited to bring some plays, some tabletop simulator plays, as well as some solo plays. But Unsettled is one I would definitely like to mention. Another one I'd like to mention, Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, specifically because this was one of the games that was kind of on my wish list video last year. A game that was kind of hard to get, and then they decided to do a reprint with some expansion content. So super excited. As of now, I think that will be about June is when we'll see some Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea by Gameland Games. Tia Kwan, that's a deluxe reprint. New box, you know, all the deluxe materials, expansions, all of that stuff. I can't remember exactly what the box is called, but I do know that that's what I backed. So we'll see that, I think, somewhere around October later this year. It's definitely one I would like to mention because I know it's a very popular game, and it's a game I have not played yet. And then a couple ones that aren't actually crowdfunding games that are out that I do plan on picking up this year. Anachrony. I know a lot of people on the Discord, at least a couple people on the Discord, have recommended this game to me. Excited. It was also on my wish list video last year, and then more recently, a game that I have actually played on Board Game Arena, Heat Pedal to Metal. Couple people on the Discord hyping that one up for me, so that's something I think is probably going to be more accessible for me to pick up. I definitely want to pick that up, so we'll definitely get that onto the channel as well. I think that's pretty much going to do it for my honorable mentions. So, getting into my number 10 as far as the most anticipated game of this year, I have to give this company that I'm talking about a ton of props. And the company I'm talking about specifically is IV Studios, Game Studios, whatever they're going by right now. But they have a game coming out that should be here in about a week. I would say a week or less. So we'll have an unboxing of that. It's my number 10. It was my number 10 before I found out it was going to be here next week as well. I'm talking about fracturedsky. Super excited for this one. I have to give IV a lot of credit. This is the fourth campaign I've been a part of, and they generally have ran some pretty good campaigns. This one is it's par with the rest of them, in my opinion. But fracturedsky, it's a kind of a resource management, area control with some bluffing and some we call that. Well, let's look at this page real quick. So fracturedsky did do its campaign last year on Kickstarter. I want to say around spring. I want to say, but to get it out in January, like 9 months. I think they said 9 months, but we'll look at this real quick. But yes, it is looks like a lot of fun. Really cool components. I think hidden information was what I was trying to get at. But really cool components, airships, magnets, cool player boards. I'm excited to get this one unboxed too. I'm excited to see how this one plays solo, and I'm excited to get some community plays on Tabletop Simulator. I know a couple of you have backed this game, so I'm excited to have you guys get in your copies, and then maybe get some content shot on Tabletop Simulator for the channel. That would be awesome. But yeah, number 10, Fracturedsky for 2024. First one on this list. First one to be here on this list, and like I said, IV Studios exceptional track record, I think, for getting some of their Kickstarter and campaigns done. The next one I want to talk about is one that was supposed to be a 2023 game. This one looks like it may be about a year behind. And we're talking Ironforest. I've talked a couple times about this game. And once again, I think it really is making this list because I'm a fan of dexterity games. I like dexterity games. If you played Ice Cool, you're going to have a little bit of feel for what this game is going to do. Let's see if we got a good overview shot. Okay, that'll do. But yeah, we're talking 2-level boards, flicking, and there's just a little bit more complexity to this game. So anytime you can add a little bit more strategy into a dexterity game, with dexterity being the focus, I'm automatically going to be a fan, especially if it plays well. This one hopefully will play well. Like I said, it looks very, very entertaining. Hopefully to watch. I'm hoping it'll be entertaining to play. But it has some really, really cool features. We're talking some launchers. I did pick up an extra one on mine just in case something was to happen to the one that came with it. As well as I think there's 2 micro expansions. So we'll definitely get those unboxed. But my number 9, most anticipated game for 2024. Obviously, would have liked to have it in 2023, but it still has some hype for me, and that's Ironforest by BrainGames. Coming in at number 8 is another game that should have been here last year. I believe this one is going to be... I don't think it'll be a full year delayed, but this is a big game. Has a lot of had a lot of testing, a lot of components, and the game I'm talking about is, if I can get it, Tidal Blades 2 Rise of the Enfolders. This is a dungeon crawl in the Tidal Blades world. If you played Tidal Blades 1, you'll be familiar with the art, the characters. This one is completely different. Like I said, more of a dungeon crawl. Very excited. We got miniatures and, like I said, a lot of story. I believe all of it's kind of on on the books as far as the maps goes, which is very, very cool. Very, very excited for this one. It's got a card system that, I mean, a lot of dungeon crawlers, I feel like this, you're gonna get more of a dice system. This has got a really cool card comboing system. Very excited to get into this one. I do think we're probably looking Q2, probably Q2 for this one. I believe originally it was going to be June 2023. So possibly not a full year delayed on this one, but I am excited though. This is by Druid City Games. I'm excited to get this one to the table. That's Tidal Blades 2 Rise of the Enfolders. The next one is going to be something that is not too much of a shock for anybody. Maybe it's a shock that it's on this list. Maybe it's a shock that it's not as high as other people would have thought I would have put it here. But like I said, 2024 is going to be a very competitive gaming year, especially if we're talking about what is going to be my game of the year for 2024. I know we are obviously several months away from actually considering what would be the best game of 2024 in my collection. But the game I'm specifically talking about is Final Girl Series 3 by Van Ryder Games. This is the third installment into the Final Girl world. Let's get a good, there we go. Very excited for this one though. I mean, obviously with 2 I was excited because I didn't have anything, and I do think some of the features in 2 were more thematically, they pulled me in a little bit more than maybe some of the ones from Series 1. But I did like Series 1 when I got it in. I did like Series 2 when I got it in. I still have more Series 2 to play. But Series 3 for me is just kind of hits it on all marks across the board as far as the kind of theme that I kind of want to see come into Final Girl. So I'm very excited about what they are bringing. Obviously, I think the box looks fantastic. We're going to have more miniatures. I don't know what to say. You guys know I love Final Girl. Final Girl being at number 7, like I said, maybe more people would have thought it would be higher. More people maybe wouldn't even have thought I'd have put it on the list just because, I mean, we got 2 boxes of Final Girl sitting behind me. Like I said, still needs some more plays on, definitely. But I am excited for Final Girl Series 3, especially, I think we're looking at October, around Halloween. So I think we'll get immersed in some Final Girl Series 3 when it comes in October. The next one, number 6, is another game that should have, I think originally was going to be a 2023 game. I want to say that very lightly because they quickly within a few months of the campaign were like, yeah, we're not getting this out to 2024. But I am excited nonetheless for this one, and we are talking about Forsaken. Forsaken, this is a game trays game. We're going to have some amazing storage components, and a lot of this is actually kind of being built in to the game itself, like you would expect game trays to do. So Forsaken, it's very story-driven, character-based. There's dice elements, exploration. It's a sandbox game is what they're calling it. But I'm super excited for this one. I mean, like I said, the components alone, very, very cool. But there's a few mechanisms in this, specifically around the dice that don't really, I don't really feel like I have anything in my collection that plays that way. So that'll be cool. And then, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it's a game trays game. So we got to be excited about that. I do like the theme behind this. Kind of like a sci-fi western. That's cool. That's very cool. Kind of reminds me of maybe like, Serenity or something like that. I want to say Serenity. Firefly. Most of you people, if you're a fan, are going to be like, Serenity, that's just the movie. But yes, it's very, very, like I said, very immersive it looks like. I feel like there's going to be a lot to dive into here. I'm excited to get this one unboxed. This one originally was going to be one of the earlier ones. So I do think we're still looking at probably early Q2. Early Q2 this year. So not too much longer to wait on this one. I know that they have, feel like they finally finished a lot of the testing on it. And I do feel like we're going to get this into production. We're starting to see shipping probably, like I said. About Q2 is when I would expect to see some Forsaken. Very excited about this. Also very excited for Game Trays Lab to, I don't know if they're crowdfunding their table or what they are, but I'm interested to see what happens with that. I always use an extra gaming table, especially for, events or taking on the road, whatnot. But that is number 6, Forsaken. The next one, I'm obviously we're getting more excited as we go on this one. This one's number 5. This will probably be one of the biggest unboxings I will have for you guys this year. Hopefully it makes it this year. I feel like anything at this point after is probably iffy. Final Girl probably will make it. I know that there was a lot of positives on that update as far as that goes, but we're getting into the games that, I'm saying 2024, but we all know how this can go. And number 5, apexlegends, the board games. And I mean biggest unboxing because I have a lot of stuff coming for this game. It was an easy one for me to kind of get into. I'm a huge first-person shooter fan as far as video games go. Haven't played one for a little bit, but I saw this one, and another game I would have expected to see some dice rolling. And they have a very cool card system as far as how the hits go. Lots of characters to play, 3D battleground, I know there's going to be, different variable map setups, so that'll be cool. Very, very excited, just on the whole, to get some apexlegends. I have not actually played apexlegends, the video game, still not too much of a video gamer as of late, but I am excited to see this one hit the table. I think this will be fun. Some PvP modes, some solo modes, some cooperative modes. I think this plays up to 6. So, getting different miniatures, characters, discovering those abilities, and, just having fun with it. Like I said, it's going to be immersive with, huge 3D scaling battlegrounds for you to go shoot and grab some guns and do some pickups and, special abilities. And I think it's going to be a whole lot of shooting fun. So, yeah, apexlegends, the board game, that is by Glass Cannon Unplugged. And that's going to bring us to number 4, another big game that I backed for this year. I don't think this one probably will be okay. I'm going to say, I think as far as testing has went for the next one we're talking about, a lot of stuff I think that they still have to flesh out. But this is by Open Owl Studios, Stone Saga. This is a bigger sandbox campaign crafting survival board game, set in the past. I think this is gonna be really, really cool. There's a lot of like I said, there's just a lot of different things that they've had to test with this game and make sure it balances right. So I completely understand having to get some of these right, but I'm super excited about this one. Like I said, crafting, exploration, There's pets you can have. There's like NPCs. There's a lot of additions to this game. I had to get the meals because I like to cook, and I felt like, you know, anytime I can add cooking to a board game is a win for me. But I do think this is going to be a whole lot of fun. It's cooperative, plays 1 to 4. I feel like if we play this solo or whatnot, we'll obviously probably play maybe multiple characters just to kind of show off the game a little bit more. But I know there's going to be a lot to this game. It originally was April 2024. I don't know if they've for sure like actually given a delayed date on this one. But I do think we're probably looking closer to Q3. I do think, like I said, I feel like they're doing a tabletop simulator beta this month. So that kind of says that they're not finalized on a lot of fronts. But I do think it'll be worth the wait. There's a lot going on with this game. Lots of little different systems I know that they got to figure out. So I'll give them time. I'll give them some space on this one. Let them bring me a great product. And I am super excited about Stonesaga. That is my number 4 for 2024. We're getting to the final 3. And I don't actually know how this happened. But everything up until this point had been Kickstarter funded. A lot of these use different pledge managers. But Kickstarter funded. These last 3 are all GameFound. So I have obviously probably backed more on Kickstarter than I have on GameFound, but I just thought that was interesting that the top 3 games for 2024 for me were all crowdfunded on GameFound. Coming in to number 3. Another one, I'm going to say another one I'm excited about. I am obviously excited about all of these. So we are talking Dragoneclipse. This is by Awaken Realms. And this crowdfunded, let's say, fall last year. So like I said, I think this is one that could potentially slide into 2025. And I would be super upset because I will say I'm excited specifically to play this with people because it is a 1 to 2 solo cooperative experience with a ton of story. I know there's almost kind of like a choose your own adventure aspect to this and like really cool models. I had to do the wash. I want this game to pop for me. I want it to pop. I thought we'd see more than this. No, not a really good overview. That's fine. But yeah, so Dragoneclipse did back some extra content on that as well. But there's a lot already in like the bonus box, and there's a lot to play through. I'm super excited for the miniatures. This one has been described as kind of like a Pokemon-esque style game where, you know, you're collecting and you're battling and you're adventuring. And that coming from Awaken Realms. I just played Nemesis like last weekend. So this is even like another reason I got this game super hyped up just because I think it's going to be accessible. Reasonably complex. Like, I mean, I don't think it's going to be overly complex. I think it's going to be, you know, very entry. I won't say it's like entry friendly, but I do think if you knew how to play and you wanted to play with, you know, your child or whatnot, I think you could probably bring them on for some adventures. I do like that they kind of like have a kind of like a dungeon, almost a dungeon crawl system. You play like one off after you played for a while, maybe quite haven't finished the campaign, but you want to play a quick game in. Do something like that. I'm excited for what the Awaken Realms is bringing with Dragoneclipse. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this one does fulfill this year, even if it's later this year. Like I said, I think they were originally, what did they put? September 2024 was their initial date. I haven't heard too much as far as any kind of delays or whatnot to the Dragoneclipse schedules. So, you know, if you've heard anything about any of these campaigns that I'm talking about that I didn't touch on, definitely leave a comment. Just kind of give me a heads up what's going on if I missed something. Yeah, that's number 3, Dragoneclipse for 2024. The next one is one I think is slated to fulfill the latest this year. I think it's in October, and we are talking about, well, we're talking about Elderscrolls Betrayal of the Second Era by Chip Theory Games. How could I not be excited about this one? You know, Too Many Bones, Unbreakable, Game of the Year for 2023 for me. So getting Chip Theory back to the table with a new, you know, I know that this has been compared to some Too Many Bones aspects, which, you know, it's only going to make me more intrigued. Let's see if we got a lot of art. There we go. But I think it's going to be different enough that I'm going to want to play it in conjunction with Too Many Bones. I want to play it probably with, you know, similar play groups. Definitely want to dive into it solo. Was never the biggest Elder Scrolls fan. I've always known about the IP, but I didn't necessarily ever jump into it, head first myself. But this, coming from Chip Theory, having an awesome IP like Elder Scrolls that has an immersive content, just so much available content for them to kind of pull from and, create a really good story. A lot of elements that, they can use in this game. I'm excited. I'm excited for Elder Scrolls. Absolutely. That's why it's my number 2. It's one of the biggest crowdfunding campaigns of 2023. And like I said, I think the original date, October 2024. So we'll see what happens with that. I think a lot of the delays that have happened with this game have already happened. And I feel like the timeline isn't hopefully going to get too skewed. I know it's going to be a crazy fulfillment because, like I said, this is a big game. I believe it was like free shipping too if you back to the specific pledge level. So I don't know how that's going to go. But Elder Scrolls, I'm excited to get to the table in 2024. And that is going to leave me with my most anticipated game of this year. And I will tell you right now, is a game when it crowdfunded last year, I had no idea. Completely slipped my radar. I was familiar with a similar game, but this one really, really pulled me in. And we are talking about Andromedasedge by Cardboard Alchemy. I will tell you right now, this game looks amazing. It's ironically not cooperative or solo. I mean, it is solo, but it's not a cooperative game. I feel like a lot of the ones I was talking about late on were all cooperatives. But I will tell you, this one, there's just so much to get excited about this one. Components looks crazy. Game trays, once again, involved in this one. It's colorful. There's crazy miniatures. It has elements of games I really, really like. I have not played Dwellings of Eldervale. Like I said, familiar with it. Have not played it, though. So I'm excited about this one because I'm always a little bit more into the sci-fi theme than the fantasy theme. I do like them both, and I feel like specific games might play better at one theme and not the other. I don't necessarily have an example off the top of my head, but I am excited to get Andromedasedge to the table. I backed at a really good level. We're gonna have some really cool miniatures to check out, but the game alone, I mean, it's just got a lot of elements of a bunch of other games that I really, really like. It has even, feels a little Gaia. Feels like with the track and stuff, feels a little bit like that. Obviously, we got some worker placement, comboing. That will be cool. And, just like almost like the NPC with the raiders and stuff like that, I think that's going to be really, really fun when you're playing, 2 or 3 player games. I am excited to check this game out. I am super excited, which is why it's number 1, Andromedasedge. Cardboard Alchemy. Fantastic campaign last year. Got me excited then. The hype is still there. I think this is one that they originally said June of 2024. I don't know if I've heard of any significant delays. I would doubt it makes June, but I would say hopefully that means we won't see it too much later than that. This would be a great midsummer game to get a lot of plays. Weather's nice, getting your friends together, getting that barbecue going on, bringing some Andromedasedge to the table over a glass of scotch, craft beer, whatnot. That is my dream for 2024. So if you want to see stuff like that, definitely remember to subscribe to Eat, Drink, Game. I will have board game content. I will have other content. Like I said, I'm excited to see what happens with this year. We're kind of going to be diving off some weird ends here and there, so stick with me. Leave me a comment. Let me know what is your most anticipated games for this year. Are they ones on this list? Are they ones I missed, I didn't back, I needed to go late back? Ones that didn't even crowdfund? Games that came out last year that you just didn't get, that you're still excited to get this year. Let me know. Leave me a comment. Leave me a like. And head over to the Discord if you want to talk more about these games. Links always in the description. But until next time, much love.